Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Oh, I only heard two people. One more time. Good morning, everyone. Excellent. There we go. That's what we're looking for. We need some energy in this room today, right? So, thank you for being here. You can tell Jessica is not here today. She's flying back from D.C. Hope her arms don't get too tired. I know. You know, there's always one or two people that's going to react to that joke, right? Anyway, I'm Don Moore. I'm the current chair for the board at the Marysville Tulalip Chamber of Commerce, and it is my pleasure here to welcome you this morning. We've got an excellent program, and I do apologize for a little bit of a late start. I generally like to start right on time, and I know we're a few minutes late, but I think we'll get that under control. I think later today, right, Todd? Excellent. I love that support. So I wanted to at least begin with some of the introductions. Looking around the room, we don't have any of the elected officials. Again, all of the elected officials are in D.C. as well too. So we'll skip the elected officials part. And as far as the board members go, there's myself, there's Gloria Hiroshima from the city of Marysville, and I thought I heard that Greg was here. I do not see Greg, though. But we don't have any other board members here. Still, welcome you today. Today's luncheon sponsor is the city of Marysville. And so I wanted to, as a normal part of our program, we give the sponsor an opportunity to talk a little bit about what's going on, current issues that are happening. And with the city of Marysville here, Gloria is going to present as well. And please join me in welcoming Gloria.
Good afternoon. Thank you for coming to our business lunch today. I'm Gloria Hiroshima, the Chief Administrative Officer for the City of Marysville, and we are very pleased to sponsor the Chamber Luncheons. It's just a little bit of a different venue and time to get some business owners that aren't able to make the early morning. So we have a great speaker today, and he'll be talking about lead generation. And then today I wanted to just give you a brief intro to our facility. The Marysville Opera House is a facility that the city of Marysville purchased about a year ago. We've been running programs and offering musical, theater, and different kinds of programs here over the last 3 years. And we have an activities guide on the back table that talks about some of our arts, cultural, and park offerings throughout the city. So we'd love to have you pick up the latest program guide and see if it's something that we as a city are offering that you might be interested in attending. One of the biggest things the city of Marysville is currently working on is consolidation of our fire services into a regional fire authority. And so I'm actually ceding most of my time to the fire chief, Chief McFalls, who is going to be presenting a little bit of a background on the RFA, Regional Fire Authority effort, and some of the critical dates that are upcoming for that effort. It is going to ballot next month, and so we want to make sure there's information out there so that people can make an informed decision. So with that, turn it over to McFalls.
Well, good almost afternoon, and thank you, Gloria. Appreciate the introduction, and it's nice to see everyone. Many familiar faces here, and I did do a presentation last month at Chamber Breakfast, and this one will be similar to that. I'd like to say similar. It might be very close, but I think we're going to get some slides up here if I'm not mistaken. But I just want to say that Gloria mentioned that we do have an election that's coming up. And first and foremost, I want to just ask everybody to please vote on April 23rd. And ballots should be going out in your mail about 3 weeks from now. And we're very excited to tell you about fire and EMS services. EMS stands for Emergency Medical Services in the Marysville area. And we're going to talk a little bit about the current services, the future services, and I want to talk a lot more about the ballot measure that's going to help us address some of these challenges that we face today. Also, that's going to set us up for the future, for the best of the community. So, with that, do I have the clicker or do you? Okay, so we've been in business as an interlocal agreed upon joint operating fire department since 1992. And our fire and EMS services, as you know, are a cornerstone of our community. It helps with your personal well-being, your sense of security, and just your quality of life. The Marysville Fire District provides a broad range of services. We do just about anything you call us to do, and we're happy to do that. We're honored to do that. And we are a busy department. I think that helps to keep us improving. I think that helps to make us one of the most well-respected departments in the county. Last year, we ran over 14,000 alarms, and since I started back in '88, that number has typically gone up 5 to 10% every single year. Today, we're governed by a 7-member board, 4 city council members, 3 Fire District 12 commissioners, and we cover and protect 82,000 citizens across a 56 square mile area. We answer service through our administration building, through our shop, and also 5 fully staffed stations. The staff stations come out with an engine, a ladder. We have aid cars, we have medic units, we've got a technical rescue rig, we've got hazardous materials, and we also have a water tender, a big, huge tanker, carries a lot of water, about 3,000 gallons, and we also have a fireboat out at our Station 65 area. Some of the challenges that we are currently facing, we've undergone a ton of changes since we began, but some of them are mostly centered around explosive growth. Marysville has tripled in size since we began. Our population has gone up 5 times larger than where it was 25 years ago. Along with that, our calls for service have gone up nearly 60% since 2011. And not just the number of calls, it's the type of calls. It's the I guess the complexity level of our calls have greatly changed over the decades. Our crews are now responding into the opioid epidemic, homelessness, mental health issues, a variety of adverse and just traumatic social situations all over the place. We've got our crews going in with local law enforcement agencies, Marysville Police and other agencies. We respond mutual aid with them more and more into extreme scenes of violence and self-harm. And amazingly, your responders are doing all of this with fewer firefighters than we had on duty in 2008. We currently have a different funding mechanism than we need. It's not keeping pace with our demands. We have very limited revenue options, and it's just not matching up with the demands that are there. During the downturn of the economy, the Marysville Fire District Board of Directors made a very wise and responsible decision to reallocate all available funds toward maintaining your frontline services and avoiding firefighter layoffs. But now we're at a point where we need to do something different with our financial model. Otherwise, we may be facing service cuts as soon as 2020. And also, our governing board, it's not representative of the area we serve. We have 80% of our population living in the city limits. However, only 60% of our fire board has city representation. And this RFA will take care of all of those things. So, real quick, what an RFA is, it's like a special purpose district. I liken it to a library district or a water district. It's its own independent taxing authority. And by state law, we're allowed to consolidate for cities and districts, fire departments. It's a way to maximize our efficiencies. It's a way to get the most bang for the public buck. And it's just good American business. And we have we also they're created only by a vote of the people. People in the service area have to vote them in each and every time. And then we've got about a dozen in the state, but all of them are pretty much on the west side. And you might have heard of the most recent one, Linwood and District 1. They merged into South County Fire and Rescue about a year ago. So how did we get here? Well, discussions about changing to a different system that better addresses population growth, better addresses changing service needs. We've been talking about this for years, literally. And the talks became very, very serious last year, January of 2018, when an RFA committee was formed. This committee was made up by city council members and Fire District 12 commissioners, and they spent the better part of last year, if not all of last year, forming a written plan for the RFA. And now all of those boards are united. The RFA board, the city council, Fire 12 commissioners, they unanimously have recommended and approved this measure to be brought before you today as the voters. And you, the voter, will ultimately decide on this RFA to approve or reject it and its funding mechanism. Some of the goals of the RFA are listed here, and really we were looking at several different service models over the course of the years. We've been analyzing and studying and looking at different ways to provide the citizens the best service. We kept coming back to this RFA model because it really did do all of the things that you see listed here, plus some, especially maintain the local control, and that is critical for us. So what are some of the things that are going to stay the same? What are some of the things that are going to change? We've got, we have the changes there listed on the right-hand side, and the things that are going to remain the same on the left. And what we're looking forward to mostly are the changes. We're going to improve services. We're going to stabilize our funding, and we are going to make sure that our governance representation is balanced. And there will be a cost to the citizen, that no doubt about it. And I want to talk a little bit about that. So funding for the RFA is a key difference. And today, fire and EMS services are funded from the Marysville City's General Fund and from the Fire District 12's property tax levy. The RFA is going to create a single funding source, and all residents, no matter where you live, are going to pay $1.45 per thousand of assessed value for fire and EMS services. If you live in District 12, what that means is $11 more a month. If you live in the city, it means $21 more per month. The City Council has indicated that they are going to reduce the property tax rate that citizens pay for other services like police, like streets, to help offset that amount. And with that, I want to tell you again, because I'm wrapping it up here, I'm about to get the hook from several people. So we've got an election coming up, April 23rd. We're asking you to please vote, and I stand before you humbly asking you to help our responders to continue the good work we're doing in the community right now that everybody expects, deserves every day. So please vote. on April 23rd, and more information is available back there at the table, also on the website. And I'm done. All right.
Thank you. Thank you, Gloria. And again, thank you for the wonderful food and especially the great service and the great facilities. So, Chief, I just wanted to let you know I was not going to give you the hook. I was going to give you the hook and ladder. So, again, City of Marysville, thank you for your sponsorship today. Chief, thank you for that information. That is actually very good information. And again, he's not here to tell you how to vote, but at the same time, you get a good sense with that information of which way you should at least consider. Let's get to the heart of the event today. And it's my pleasure to introduce to you Dean Van Dyke. Dean is a business and lead generation strategist, as well as the founder and CEO of the Pillars Group. He is a Persian Gulf War disabled veteran with 14 years of service on active duty and the reserves. Thank you for your service, sir. His desire is for business owners to discover that aha moment and to achieve great success. The profound impact that the aha moment has on a person and their business is tremendous. With over 2 decades of experience in the business world, Dean's proven track record shows he can make a positive impact in the business and nonprofit communities. Dean is a certified Lean Six Sigma Black Belt and holds a bachelor's degree in accounting and a master's degree in business and project management. He is an active member of his local community by volunteering his time, serving on various nonprofit boards that advocate for veterans. And you will find his talks very insightful, very inspiring, entertaining, and above all, informative. Please join me in welcoming Dean.
I typically don't need a mic, but I'll use this. And Chief, there he is. As a former law enforcement officer, I urge everyone in this room to vote yes, because without them, beautiful places may not exist. So I urge you all to vote yes for that. My pleasure. All right, so we're going to get started here. Apologize, I think I was the one causing the delay, so up a little bit. Getting it. Right, agree. All right, so there we go. All right. There we go. Awesome. So I get pretty passionate about this topic, so I'm not sure, you may want to turn the volume down a little bit, Mike. But no, I greatly appreciate being here today. This is a phenomenal place. This is like the best chamber luncheon meeting place I think I've ever been in. And I've been in a few, but this is beautiful. So congrats, hats off to you guys. So today we're going to talk about how to grow your business and some simple no-cost strategies that you can take and implement today, should you desire. I'm going to give you the strategies. The tactics is on you on how to execute that. So this is my crew. I've got 3 wonderful boys, all almost gone, almost the empty nester. Glad my bride's not here, I'd be in trouble. Buster's in the middle. It was his recent birthday, and so Mom decided he needed a birthday cake. And at the bottom there, this young man just took command of Iron Troop in Germany in December, and he's my oldest. And the other day I was talking with somebody, and I was at a Kubota dealer, and she said, "Well, how old are you?" Because I gave her my kids' age, and she goes, her response was priceless. "You look well preserved." Not sure what that means, but anyway, so that's my crew. Without them, this is why I do what I do. And so let's jump into it. And so really, the man that you're seeing on the screen, does anyone know that man without reading his name underneath? So Peter Drucker, I would consider to be the godfather of business, similar to Don Corleone as the godfather in the Godfather movies. And he really said marketing and innovation is what makes a business. Everything else is just a cost. If you think about what's going on today with businesses, large and small, in Washington State, one of the tragic things that is occurring is we've lost a lot of small businesses. The state government is working to revitalize small business, which is great. If you think about large companies that are on their way out or no longer here, can anyone name one of those? Toys R Us, they're gone. Sears. Why do you think that is? Mismanagement? I like that one. Exactly. The market's changing. We're changing. We're looking for convenience and delivery. Large retail formats, although they still exist, I mean, I think Nordstrom's is still doing rather well. The Apple stores, the Microsoft stores are all doing really well. Sears, JCPenney's, potentially Macy's, is failing to innovate and stay ahead of the market. And unfortunately, we're losing icons of the retail industry as a result of that. And so when you think about innovation, the interesting thing is you don't need to make dramatic improvements in your business. I was listening to a podcast the other day, and the British cycling team, when the new leader of that team took over, he said, all we need to do is make 1% incremental improvements in every area of our cycling team. Nutrition, the weight of the bike, the weight of the wheels, the massages, 1%. That's all you need to do. And I think they've won 2 Tour de France, if I recall. So think about that as business is evolving, as your fire district is evolving. It's really about marketing and innovation. Now, for the business owners in the room, and as well as folks that are managing businesses for somebody, has this ever hit you when you're trying to figure out which avenue do I take to market or innovate? I heard the squirrel quote. I wish my bride was here. So every day we're confused, we're lost. Really, is it Facebook ads? Is it Twitter? Is it Instagram? Is it the local paper? Is it the local chamber directory? Where do we put our money into to see our business grow? Not just survive, but thrive. How do we do that? Where do we make that decision? Where do we understand, where are we getting that return on investment? Are we getting that return on investment? Do you know when you build that print ad, the dollars that are coming back into the business? How many of you would say you know that? Don't be shy. Oh, everybody knows? Okay. So the other thing is that, have you heard of the 80-20 rule? I'm seeing some head nods, which is great. 20% of the efforts that you're doing is really generating 80% of your results. And if you were to track what you do day in and day out, you would quickly understand that 20% of my results is 20% of my effort is really what's giving my results to me. So think about that as you go through your day, and it's the vital few that you need to focus on. And within my business and my company, what we do is we focus using the 5-step profit formula. More leads, conversions, transactions, prices, higher prices, and more profits. Because without this, the business is, I hate to say it, doomed to fail. And with small business failure rate, 100%, over the course of 5 years, 50% will fail. That's a pretty dramatic loss in business when the economy is driven by small business. 99% of this economy is driven by small businesses. And so we're going to talk about all 8 of these today. I'm kidding. I could talk for 4 hours. We're going to talk about 3 of them today. These are the 8 strategies that I'd use to work with businesses and instruct and teach and really impress upon businesses that they can take and do. We're going to talk about advertising. I've got some examples about how a website, the critical question is do you need one? With 1.2 billion websites, are you really going to be found? We're going to talk about how to build it using joint ventures or partnerships. And then we're also going to talk about costs and unnecessary expenses and where you might be able to get some free help. What you're looking at is my profit growth calculator, and what this does is it helps folks understand where they're at today and where they could go tomorrow with that 1% incremental improvement. If you look at the current state of 1,000 leads, or 1,000 leads, it comes in 25%, you're really looking, that is an eye chart, I apologize. 10 transactions at $100 per transaction. The net profit, as calculated by this, is approximately $63,000. With a 10% improvement, that improves to well over $100,000. With a 50% improvement, you're looking at 1.4 million-ish. Let me get to where I need to be. So, making those small incremental improvements day in and day out, will your business get to 50%? Potentially. May even get there quicker if you're the next Uber. Just don't know. So when you think about successful marketing, what comes to mind when you think successful marketing? Grabbing people's attention. I like that. Anything else? Consistency? Repeatable processes? Call to action? If it's crafted the correct way. Targeting? Great. So the other thing is the key thing is you really need to enter your prospect's mind. Kind of scary, I know. But you really need to understand what they're thinking. Usually, because they have a problem they don't want, and they're searching for a solution that they need. And so you've got to be able to address that at the right time and place, because not everybody's at that buying place, ready to make that purchase. And there are 2 conversations, and we've already touched on them, so I'll just get there. There's a problem they have and don't want, and there's a result they want but don't have. And when we think about the conversion equation, I believe it was the gentleman in front who said, we really need to interrupt thought process. We need to engage. We need to educate and then give such a compelling offer that they can't resist it. The interrupts your headline. This could be print, this could be website, this could be anything. It's your headline. And I've got examples for you later on, but the engage is your subheadline. The educate is where you start to educate your prospect or your lead in your unique value proposition of why they should buy from you. What's the purpose for them to interact with you and exchange cash or credit or check? And the offer's got to be so compelling and irresistible that they can't refuse it. And I'll give you an example of this. A few years ago, we were searching for an SUV, and the movie Transformers had come out. Beautiful yellow Camaro with black rally stripes down the middle. And my youngest used this exact model on Dad. So I did my online research. I found 4 SUVs I thought we'd like. We went and visited them. We looked at them. We went home very frustrated. So before we left and during the day, he's sending me text messages. He's sending me links about the Camaro. He's telling me, hey, the vision issues are with Gen 6, not Gen 5. I'm like, whoa. So he's interrupting me. He's engaging me. He's educating me. Now, he didn't give me the offer because I'm not sure he could have delivered. But I came home, sat on the couch frustrated, grabbed the laptop, did a search for Camaros. First one that popped up, bright white, blaze orange rally stripes with blaze orange interior. Sitting in my garage today is a bright white with blaze orange rally stripes. And he was able to do this, unbeknownst to him, he was able to do this. It influenced me to the point where I bought a Camaro. Yep. Well, the only thing that, the caveat to buying that is I had to drive an RS model, which was a V6, and this one's a Super Sport model. No comparison. So, unfortunately, my youngest is driving that car today, so I don't even get to drive it. So, oops. Sorry about that. All right. But really, do you feel like you're in saturation mode when it comes to marketing messages? When you're trying to figure out, what do I say? What do I do? Today, it takes anywhere from 20 to 100 touches to get someone to buy from you. And I know that's frustrating. And the challenge is really getting them to understand what the value is for them to purchase from. We had a call last night, and a commercial cleaning company has a beautiful website, spends a lot of money on that website. And you know how they go get leads and prospect? What's that? Door to door. And that's how they are the most successful with getting new clients. Their website is giving them pretty close to zero value. So you've got to know who your customer is. You've got to know who you're selling to. Our conversion equation, which we talked about, in theory, can reduce it to 5 to 12. And I'll give you, and we've got some examples coming up that I think you'll see that. And there's some things, though, that not only frustrate me as a consumer, but we don't follow up. We don't follow up with people who come to us and say, I need your help, or I'd like to see what you have to offer. Case in point, I was looking to purchase a backdrop for podcasts and for video calls that I do. I called, I said, this is what I'm looking for. They said, great, we'll email you a quote. Okay, said, you got my email? Got it. When will a quote arrive? Today. Got it. That was Friday. Wednesday, I decide, I'm driving by, I'm going to stop in. And I said, so I called Friday, this is who I am, I still don't have my quote. Oh, that's not like us, we always follow up, we always give our quotes when we say we're going to give the quotes. And I said, something's broke then, because I didn't get it. So they generate the quote, hey, would you like it emailed? I said, absolutely, you got my email, I don't want paper. Do you think I'm going to buy from them? And they're local. I like to buy local. I don't like to buy from somebody I don't know typically for things like that. There's some stuff that you can't avoid that for. But I probably won't buy from them. So follow up. It's not hard. Trust me. The buyer's journey. So really, when I talked about earlier, is there's less than 1% of buyers that are ready to buy, ready to sign that contract, ready to pull out their credit card. I probably would have purchased that banner on that day had they given me that quote. I probably would have went in there for the purchase of giving them my card, but I didn't do that. So now I'm back on the journey of finding somebody who can actually deliver that banner and do what they say they're going to do. And another case in point is that I usually am pretty loyal when I purchase vehicles. Last December, I purchased a vehicle, and They said it was fixed. Well, it sat for a week and a half in the Issaquah Chevrolet dealer because it wasn't fixed. You think I'm going back to that dealer? No. So when you look at how you're marketing and how you're innovating and how you're delivering value to your customers, think about those things. Now, what you're looking at right now is something that's pretty busy. Can you tell me what the offer is? He wants you to contact him. Which once you contact, then what do you think he's going to do? Well, he's going to put you on the list, but he's probably going to put a hard sell on you too. This website is very busy. I didn't find my financial planner via a website, usually through a referral. So, and I run into this every day too when I talk with chiropractors. Got a great picture, but call us. I don't really know unless I've been to a chiropractor before and know what they do and know what they deliver, I really don't know what the offer is. And if you look in the lower, well, my lower left, your right, you see the gal holding her head? Well, my sister-in-law has been, right there, my sister-in-law has been plagued with migraines her entire life and has done some pretty drastic medical stuff to take care of them. But if this chiropractor had something that offered relief to migraine, people that are afflicted with that, they would be busier than they could handle. But you wouldn't know that by the way this is structured. And so when you're taking the buyer along that journey, the key thing they're looking for, what do you think that is? Solutions to solve the problem, which all equates to information. So that's what people are looking for. How can you solve my problem? So if you guys can solve the problem in Bellevue with traffic, I'd have been here on time. Just saying. All right, so let's jump into advertising, how to make it work. And so with Dr. Smith, what you have here is it's a website, a very busy website. He's got 9 areas that he focuses on. And when you look at those areas, there's some things there that really pop out and really help, could help some folks, emotionally disturbed children. My bride on a daily basis at times has 4- and 5-year-olds that are, they have issues. And he really has some things here that he could leverage and now is leveraging them to improve that. Because if you look at what he's specializing in, that's truly what the offer is. I mean, he's saying it's to call me, but I'm not going to call him. I don't want the free consultation over there. What I'm looking for is I want you to interrupt my thought process by the first line. I want you to interrupt, engage me. If you're a parent struggling with an emotionally disturbed child, you want peace and quiet in your home. And my bride would like peace and quiet in her classroom. So they work with folks to do that. But this is where he has seen, that Dr. Smith has seen the biggest improvement is by breaking out that website and creating what we call landing pages. And it's minimal. What you're giving up is your first name and email address. You're not making a phone call, you're not giving him anything other than that. And that's pretty low risk nowadays. Unless your identity's been stolen like mine, which is fun. So his script that he uses, and this is in the video, is that, are you struggling to gain control? Is it yelling and screaming? And I have a good friend, his teenage son. My heart grieves for him the way we talk about what happens in the home when he has an episode. And so I know that you see the word control, but it's not about control. It's about how do you redirect? How do you help them? And he's got techniques that helps with that frustrating situation. And all you have to do is enter your name and email, and you get those 60-second techniques delivered to your email. Now, if I'm one of those parents that's receiving those 60-second techniques and they start to work, what do you think I'm going to do? You're going to call him. And that's exactly what we've seen with him, in that by entering your name and email, you get the 60-second techniques. It starts to work. You call and you schedule an appointment. Showing you some of the data. So he was averaging 300 leads a month, 30%, 10%, typical. Free consent to it, which is 1%, which is again typical. With the new page, 360 request the offer. 6 become clients, and at his bill rate of $800, average sale value, his revenue just increased $2,400 a month. As a business owner, wouldn't that be nice? Right. He demonstrated he had something of value. They took it. They picked up the phone after they found out it worked, called him. And that's his net result. And that's not going away. Let's talk about partnerships. Everyone know what a partnership is? Joint venture. So usually it's you're looking for folks that are in the same industry, but you're not competing. And really it's what you're looking for is to develop a relationship with them to where you've got referrals going both ways. And I'll talk about an event chain, is what I call it. Typically with a wedding, and I'm not saying this is totally linear, because things may bounce around, especially if you're in Vegas. So if you think about the florist, and they partner with all these folks, the jeweler, cake, invitations, if you do paper invitations, if you think about everybody above them, sending a referral to the florist. We're going to focus on the florist right now. And if everybody below the florist were to receive a referral from the florist, that's a pretty good deal without having to do any advertising. No cost other than your time and effort to put this into place. And so if they could obtain just one, and the average cost of flowers, and if they could send, was $3,000, if I get a referral from somebody and I still have to close the sale, let's not forget about that. If you close that sale, that's $3,000 that you literally had to do no work for other than to build a relationship and hand somebody a business card. And you have now, if you get one a month times 12, $36,000. That's pretty good for a florist. And if they receive one and give that 10% referral fee, and again, these fees aren't locked in stone, they're negotiable, that's an annual increase of $3,600. If their sales price for printing is $1,000 and they get a 10% return on that, or referral rate, that florist does, that's an extra $1,200 that they had to do nothing other than to refer somebody. And if I'm going to refer somebody, and if I'm the person getting the referral, that trust is a lot higher than if it's just I'm flipping through. I know yellow pages, we don't use them. Or if we're online, if I get a referral from somebody, I'm going to trust that referral far more than I am if I just smile and dial somebody. So, with the ultra-conservative numbers that we've got, it's an additional $41,000 just by spending a little time understanding what your event chain is. Would anybody appreciate an extra boost in $41,000? Then if you took it the extra step and you did do some work and you gave all your partners this piece of collateral, and you start to generate and educate folks, because I don't know of any bride that wants a disaster on their wedding day. There might be a few, but I think it's pretty minimal. If you give this to your partners and then they use it, that's another value add. You're adding value to that partnership. Let's jump into increasing profits, and I don't see I'm getting the hook and ladder yet, but getting close though. We look at costs, and there's a couple ways you can do that. You can increase or decrease your cost of doing business. What's the quickest way you think you could increase your revenue? Raise your prices. You know how many business owners I talk to that haven't raised prices in a long time? Because they're afraid. They're afraid to increase their rates. All my customers are going to leave. This is the quickest way to increase your revenue. Keep in mind, your costs have stayed the same. All profit at that point. So let's talk about some widgets. At $100, increase that to 110. Over the price of 2 lattes, I think that's correct still. Are you really going to flee? Probably not. When Starbucks raised their prices, I still go into Starbucks. I mean, we typically don't. I mean, unless it's such a drastic increase. There are going to be some that leave because why? They shop on price. That extra $10 is really, they're going to leave regardless. But if you think about it, that $10 is all profit, right? Costs will remain the same. And so that's a pretty healthy profit increase just by increasing your prices. And with that profit increase, you got to sell 33.3 at the current price. What do you think the number that you got to sell at the higher price does? How many do you think you got to sell at the higher price? How many? 25. So your prices go up, you've got to sell less of them. That's a pretty good deal. What's that? It is. But you got to lose quite a few customers for that to hurt. And I'll go out and say that it's not going to happen. If it happens, I'll buy you lunch right here at the next change. So, but there's ways to test that, right? So if you have multiple products, test it on your higher margin products. Raise a price, test it. If volumes stay the same as far as sales, raise it on the next one. I wouldn't advise doing the Big Bang Theory, not the show, but on your pricing. Because you want to test it. You want to make sure that as a business, this is a good move for you. And as you test it, again, it's the fastest way to increase your revenue. You could go out today and do this. Let's talk about a way to decrease your cost of doing business. How many of you have employees? You? Is labor pretty expensive nowadays? Yeah. So with everything, I mean, and I know I need to add one here for the state of Washington, but which I think is a great thing we're doing, is the FMLA, I believe it's called, that we're now taking taxes out for. It is expensive, but really when you look at your business and if you want that exponential growth, there's ways to do that without hiring additional people. You're all thinking I'm crazy right now, right? When's the last time you offered an internship to run your marketing stuff? When's the last time you hired a business major to run your sales process after you've trained them? Because that's the quickest way to get something, strategic marketing plan, operational plan. I know the students at UW Washington wrote the Startup 425, which is an organization of 5 cities, wrote their business plan and strategic plan for them at no cost. And I know that a colleague of mine who's got an HR business, he used University of Washington marketing class to write his strategic marketing plan. All it took was his time to go in, educate them on his business, meet with them periodically, and at the end of the quarter, he had a strategic marketing plan, which he's now executing. Didn't cost him a dime. So when you look at an internship, you've got opportunities there because students are looking for ways to gain experience. And the schools love it because it adds value to their educational offering. My son is currently looking for a marketing internship and is interviewed with a few companies. And it's a great way because it gets him out of school. 16 years is a long time. Real world experience. Looks great on their resume because they've got some real world experience. It's a tough job market out there for college graduates. The trade schools, not so much. They usually have a job even before they start school. It's awesome. And it really gets them a jump start because there are those that won't do an internship. And for those that don't do an internship, they lack that real world experience. So you may hire them at the end of it because why? They know your company more than likely better than you do. So it's a great resource. If I'm going too quick, I apologize. But sometimes you don't have to pay them a salary. It just depends on the school. Sometimes you do. Sometimes it's, you've got to pay a minimum wage or whatever the work study rate is, which that is far less expensive than hiring an employee. They get the college credit. It helps you save thousands of dollars. And so, as I'm landing my plane, which I know I'm getting, felt some darts already, so I'm going to land this thing. When you think about this, these strategies that I talked about, if you execute these consistently, it will generate revenue. And eventually it'll become self-sustaining. I'm working with a client right now, caught pneumonia. The business did this. Can't operate unless they're there. And that's not a good place to be. Gives you the economic freedom, and who would like more time back? So if somebody builds a website, they deliver it, they got to go find somebody new, right? But if you're executing the strategies, you've always got pipeline, you've always got revenue, JV's sending you revenue, and that revenue just comes in. Upsells, downsells, cross-sells, additional affiliate products and services if you partner with somebody, and last, you've got higher pricing that they're willing to pay, as well as a lower cost. And so, first of all, I appreciate being here. I apologize for being late. That's not my style. And I wish you all the best and have a great afternoon. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Dean. That was very informative from my standpoint, and certainly lived up to what we had talked about earlier. Gotten to the heart of the meeting. Going to get to the soul right now. I want to introduce to you Todd Fallman. He's Todd Fallman of the Fallman Property Group, and please give Todd a warm welcome.
Wow, what a wonderful place. Who's the first, who hasn't been here yet at the Opera House? Let me see. Okay, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. What do you think? Isn't this a great place? You think you want to come back for some more events? Absolutely, absolutely. We'd love to see you back here again. And who has been here a couple of times already? All right, terrific, thank you. And who in here has been to a luncheon sponsored by the Chamber before? Excellent. Well, thank you all for being here. And what a wonderful presentation. I got a lot out of that. I mean, there was a lot of information. Two things I got out of there was 20% of what it is you do is going to create 80% of the results. Excellent. Another part that I got, which we're going to jump into here in just a second, is building up that event chain and creating those partners to help increase that revenue. And so what we're going to transition to right now is the table networking. We're going to take about 5 minutes, and if you want to combine some tables and get a full table, what we're going to do is now's the time to get out your flyers and your business cards, and we're going to start with each person is going to have about 30 seconds to 45 seconds to give a commercial about what it is you do, introduce yourself to the table, and when you hear the bell, it's going to be time to start the next person. And so if we want to get those business cards out right now, when would be a good time right now to do that? Right now, okay. So let's get those business cards out. Let's start getting that energy flowing. Let's start getting those voices ready for some table networking. Let's create some of those event chains. And I'm going to start it off. When you hear the bell, okay, the first person who's going to start, hold on. I know, I'm anxious for this too. Okay, so what we're going to do is the person that is closest to the stage will be the first person. And then you'll go around to the right through the table. So when you hear the bell, you'll give your 60-second commercial. Tell us a little bit about you. When you hear the bell again, it'll be the next person's turn. All righty, let's begin. Okay, we got to be moving on. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you so much. On this part of the program, we'd like to introduce our new members. Since our last breakfast before hours, I'd like to introduce, and if these businesses are here, representatives of those businesses, if you could please come forward. I'd like to proudly introduce IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. Is anyone here? Please come forward, please. Thank you. Also, Wendy MT Translations. Is Wendy here? Okay, thank you. Let's hear it for Wendy. Next, Young Living. Anybody here from Young Living? Young Living. Okay, let's give it up for Young Living. Thank you. And Office Depot. Is anybody here from Office Depot? All right, for all your copying needs and pleasure, let's hear it for them. Excellent. Reese Construction Company. Reese Construction Company. They're out building something. Okay, great. Wonderful, wonderful. Would you like to take about 30 seconds and introduce yourself, please?
Hi, my name's Erin. I'm clinic director for IRG Marysville Physical Therapy, located just a couple blocks away. We are a larger physical therapy company within the Puget Sound region, but in Marysville PT, we're just trying to get a little bit more into the community. We do offer 15-minute injury screens. If you have a question about, any aches or pains, come by and see us. It's free. But we do also just do, traditional physical therapy, coming by and learning new strategies, try to avoid those more invasive procedures, and trying to avoid surgery. Or if you've had surgery and you need to bounce back, trying to get back to what you need to do. We're here to get you back to living basically your best life at this point. So,
thank you. And who doesn't like living their best life, right? I got it. That's awesome. We love to celebrate new businesses in our communities, and we love to celebrate and introduce new businesses at the chamber as well. If you are a business here and you're not currently a member, if you have questions about membership, we have members here from the emissary committee. Can I see your hands if you're on the emissary committee? Okay, can I see your hands if you're on a separate committee here at the chamber as well? Somebody else. Excellent, thank you. Thank you there, Angela, in the back. If you're interested in learning more about membership and like to be included with what it is we do and more networking, please see anyone here who had raised their hand. So thank you for being here. Next, we'd like to introduce, I'd like to show our showcase tables. As we can see, we have a showcase table there in the back, Cities of Marysville. Would you like to come up one more time? You're good, yes. Where's that hook? Where's that hook? Dom, let's get that hook.
Can I have your time too? Yeah?
No.
Okay. Well, thank you all again. And just another reminder, please vote on April 23rd. I mean, maybe I should say April and you say 23rd. No. All right. Now, April
23rd. He is on fire, isn't he? Okay. I just had to say it. Good job, Chief. Excellent. Now, roving mic, the roving mic portion of this meeting. Any chamber members who uses the roving mic time to do a kudo or a testimony to another chamber member or company here, can put an additional card here and for our giveaways that we're going to do in a little bit. So if there's a chamber member that'd like to come up and give a kudos or a thank you or an attaboy to another business, now is a great time to do so. All right. Kim Thompson, Prime Lending.
Hello, good afternoon. Kim Thompson with Prime Lending, and my shout out is for Langabeer, McKernan, and Barnett. They are a wonderful CPA company. Just got my taxes done, and I don't owe this year. Whoop, whoop.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you. Did you get to put another business card here for the drawing? All right. Last call for Roving Mike. All right. Thank you very much. Next, Kim, why don't you just stay up here for a second, okay? Because you're going to help us out with the raffle. And every... Okay. Thanks. No, you stay up here, Kim. I'm not done with you. Okay. We reserve the hook and ladder for just a few select people. Okay. It's not Kim. All right. So here we are. We're going to be doing the raffle prizes. And today's raffle prizes, we have two. Who in here likes to eat breakfast? Okay, for those that don't, forget about what I'm going to say next, all right? Who in here likes to network and meet new businesses and grow their business? All right, everybody, excellent. So our next raffle prize is going to support both of those activities. Eating breakfast, meeting new businesses, and growing your business and your event chains, okay? So we are giving away breakfast before hours, breakfast and entry to our next one. And it is coming up March 29th. And the sponsor is Ideal Wellness. So you're really not going to want to, you definitely don't want to miss that. So go ahead, pick your card.
You pull. I just
oh my gosh.
put a card in. I don't want to pull my own
Oh, yeah, right. We have John Campbell. John Campbell. Tulalip. Excellent. All right. We'll deliver that one. Congratulations, John.
One more?
We have one more.
Perfect.
All right. Who's feeling lucky? No one's feeling lucky? All right. Okay. We got a couple people feeling lucky. For the rest of you, you're unlucky. All right. We have Tina. Tina, welcome. Congratulations. Congratulations. And just a little bit of plug about the breakfast before hours. We are offering showcase tables, and at a showcase table at our breakfast before hours, you're able to give a little bit of time and put your information out where people come in, and you'll be able to hand that out there and get more attention and more focus on your business. So I would invite you to contact the chamber office if you're interested in a showcase table. Next, we have here are the chairman's closing statements. So Dom, if you'd like to come up, please. It's on here. We got it. We got it, Kim. Okay, we need that hook and ladder. Okay, I was mistaken. No. Dom, thank you, Dom. You got it.
Ooh, you guys livened up quite a bit today. That's great. Well, again, just to closing remarks, I want to thank everyone for being here today. Certainly want to thank our sponsor, the City of Marysville. Thank you to the Opera House staff for your wonderful service. Thank you for the living room for the food. Great food, lots of food left over. You know, hopefully you guys have some space in your pockets. And then thank you to the Chamber volunteers and the emissaries for all the help today. Another round of applause for all of those people as well, too, please. The last one, thank you all as members. For your ongoing commitment, the great businesses that you conduct for the community. I want to make a few announcements regarding upcoming events. There's a directory ads sales started March 4th and goes through March 22nd. The flyers are on the registration table for those of you that are interested. The next Chamber Business Before Hours breakfast meeting is Friday, March 29th at the Tulalip Resort Casino. 7:30 a.m. Topic is stress management. I don't know about you. I could use a little bit of that. Marysville Brew and Cider Fest on Saturday, April 6th. It'll be here at the Opera House. The Marysville Mega Mixer, Thursday, May 9th, again here at the Opera House. The next Chamber Quarterly Luncheon will be Thursday, June 13th. That's my wife's birthday. The speaker, that's a good idea. The speaker will be Nikki Rauch, the sales maven. Once again, thank you very much for spending your time with us today. Hopefully you learned a lot, you ate a lot, and again, support the city's fire district. Thank you again. Have a great day. Be safe out there.